Fire 7. Boglands, folks, here we go. As said, you start with a mill, a tower, 3 vills on a hill. Spectacular. Uh,
And
Keller in the gray here, gonna be the Byzantines. Over here we have Illusionist with the Saracens in teal. Blue for Husiel with Mongols. Dravidians for Zayao in yellow. Orange for Nexus here, and he is with the Koreans. Japanese for Vegeta in purple. Green for Haru with Burmese, and then in red we have Barles with the Burgundians.
yep, and people are commenting on the treaty. I actually would have preferred to remove the treaty, but there was just so much to do, and I figured it wouldn't matter. And as everybody appears to just be TCing their homeland, I don't think it's going to matter that we have this little treaty here.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really make much of a difference. It's not as if this is like a true like nomad with villagers spread out across the map situation. So
Well, there was like a chance that two players went to TC mid or something crazy like that, but in the end, it looks like everybody's just slamming their starting TC, which is a smart move. And yeah, this is the stock version of Boglands. The one adjustment that we increase the size of the starting gold pile.
and if anyone doesn't know, the middle is visible. Actually, the vision on this map is extremely awkward.
Yep, whose point of view are you looking at right now?
Keller's. Looks like everyone has this point of view.
Um, Everybody has this point of view.
Yeah, like look, if we switch to different players, they can see town center positions.
Then there's 100% a bug. Oh boy. This is people are gonna have to play it like it is, but we should have tested this better. When creating the map, I intended to add some special terrain around mid, and I was supposed to add map revealer items to that area. It appears that the map revealers have been placed randomly around the map, so players just have vision on random swaths of the map. The game will proceed.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good.
and I'm sure players have immediately noticed what's up. But this is weird. Yeah, I apologize.
It is a little weird, that's for sure. But I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? So
I mean, there's already a lot of chaos in it. I think that even if everything's perfectly balanced, some players will complain that it's not fair. Um, this is what it is, man.
yeah, I
I
mean
think
they
that the game
all
will
have the
play.
vision, right? So it's not as if
They
one
all
player
have
has it.
random vision. I think each player has like 100 map revealers placed around the map for them.
Yeah, I mean it's a little unfortunate, but as I can click through all their point of views, it looks like for the most part they all see different spots of the map. So
It seems like they see similar areas. Okay, I know what the problem is. So I tried to place this like green grassy terrain around the middle, and I said put the map revealers on the green grassy terrain. But this map already has a lot of green grassy terrain, and so the map revealers kind of got scattered. Whoops.
gotcha.
Yeah.
No, it's a little awkward for them too, I'm sure, but hey, it, things can't always go perfectly, right?
Yeah, I mean these guys are playing potentially 2 games today for $700. I don't think they have too much to complain about.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, and there's a part of me who does like seeing things weirder. You know, the more deviated from normal, the more interesting in some sense.
Fair enough, fair enough. I haven't received any message from any players, so they're not really worried about it either at this
They're
point.
so unfamiliar with the map, they probably assume it's a map feature. It's like El Dorado, except totally random where you can see, basically. Hmm. Well, do you have any favorites for this game?
With the quality of players here, no. There's too many good players here to really know what the situation's gonna be. Haru just lost his scout here under the town center, Vegeta.
Hmm.
I don't know. What about yourself? You have favorites?
Um. So how are we pronouncing it? Who or Wackle?
Whichever you prefer, I guess.
I like Wackle. I'll go with Wackle. He
Wackle?
signed up for Banano 1. He didn't play due to scheduling conflicts. But
Yep.
by signing up for Banano 1, I know that he's into weirder settings. I like Mongols actually quite a lot. The faster, fully upgraded siege really helps for reinforcing mid with strong units, as well as just getting like good siege onager shots out. Plus, they have an OP, high HP unique unit. Plus, they have good hussar. Mongols is good. I like Barrows a lot as a player, but Burgundians I don't really know about. Going down the rest of the Civ picks, Dravidians do clearly have potential. Saracens have a lot of potential as well, but I'll maintain that Mongols with Wackle is my pick for the game.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see how he does. Mongols, some civs we haven't seen much, to be honest. So I don't think they've been picked, but maybe once prior to this. So
I Funny Liquid played them in Qualifier 4 versus me. I remember that.
yeah, I think that's it though, to be honest. So
Yeah, a little surprising. I mean, this map does not have an.
sorry, it's Joe's. Can't wait for your favorite to change 5 times.
I mean, I'll you know what? I'll go down with Wackle until he's like literally eliminated. I'm not going to pick a second favorite.
Who got the most of these water buffalo? Really, I did not pay attention. It looks like Zayu has quite a few still alive. Otherwise, I mean, I guess it's random, I guess, at the moment to try to guess who did what. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the water buffalo start around their TCs. It's not like Nomad where you go around finding a bunch.
yeah. Husiel is holding the mid right now. Holding on there pretty nicely. Had it for a while. Ticking resources coming in for him, which is nice. Especially if he's trying to get to that Mangudai spam, right? All that extra stone for free is quite helpful.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the map naturally only has enough stone for each player to get like 4 castles or so. So pulling an extra 300 stone or whatever out of the mid is actually tremendous if you're thinking to go for unique unit.
Yep, walling up has already begun here. Looks like we may have lost a Vil for Keller or something. I don't know what happened over here, but things are gonna be getting messier in the late game. I don't think many people have military on the field other than Husia. He's only got 3, and they're all in the mid, so he's looking to hold this for the immediate time frame. Haru onto stone already with quite a few Vils. I don't know if that's on purpose or if just where he built the mining camp.
Regardless, it's intentional. It's always nice to have a mining camp that can be used for both gold and stone. I'd guess it's intentional. This is 250 pop. Adding TCs beyond the third seems like the correct thing to do. So collecting 1 or 200 stone now makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. The wood lines on this map also make it very interesting for the walls we're seeing.
Surveying this map compared to the other ones we've seen, I'd say this actually has a ton of wood. If this game becomes a wood game, then we're going to be here for 3 hours, I think.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you never know what we're going to see in these. I mean, we thought Fortress was going to be a shorter game, or at least I did. And that one turned into a 2-hour slugfest, so.
And thinking of favorites as well, when Barrels showed up, so many people were telling him to stay away. I wonder if he actually has a reputation for being really good on these settings or weird settings in general.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's possible. Or maybe they just see him as a threat because he's so high up on the ladder. Who knows?
Is he really like that much higher than these other 2K2, 2K3, 2K4 guys?
I think he's 5th on the ladder right now, so.
Oh, damn. kind of funny that the top players on the ladder are a very different set of players than the top 10 players by tournament performance and expectation, I'll say. I guess,
Fair. Fair.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to, objectively think of how high the tiers of pros are who are in this tournament. I think we've had like 3 top 10-ish players as far as 1v1 elo goes, but we haven't had any of the top 10 tournament performers sign up, unfortunately.
They all have the Grand Melee to worry about, right? So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
focusing on that situation, so which makes sense. And
Indeed.
the funny part is the ladder doesn't even really matter in this situation because it's free for all. The low man on the totem pole could win as far as the ladder's concerned.
Indeed, yeah. As we've seen, like 1v1 elo is extremely not predictive of how well you'll do here. It is totally a different game, the free for all. And you know what? I love it, man. Tight builds, all this stuff, knowing the meta, it doesn't matter here. What matters is kind of grand strategy a bit more. And I think it makes it more interesting too that most of these guys aren't especially practiced on the settings. So there's a lot of figuring out and what not to do. It's not just players following the meta, doing what other people have already proven is the best.
Yeah, for sure. Nexus isn't feudal, but he's on his way up. He's building a tower, interestingly enough, in a weird position, I feel. But maybe it was an accident. It was supposed to be an outpost. I don't know.
He is Koreans. Towering up your base as Koreans or Japanese is really good. Like, many players throughout all the games we've played have seen their base decimated at some point. If you have especially Korean or Japanese towers and keeps peppered throughout your base, like that just does so much for the survivability of your eco long term. I actually really like the play.
Yeah. Husiel's adding a monastery, gonna go for some relics. The relic distribution on this map is very, very interesting. Looks like Vegeta actually could wall up and have 2 within his walls. Probably the best case scenario for him. Barl's already bringing 1 back from mid and headed to this other one over here, so he might end up with 2.
Yeah. 2 relics is a huge haul for a player on these settings. And yeah, relics I think are more important than the quality of your boom, even. I think that every player is eventually going to get to full pop, but very few players are going to get to 2 relics. And when the game drags on, the difference between 2 relics and no relics is absolutely tremendous. I mean, you really feel the relics in these settings where often there's so much waiting between action.
Yeah, absolutely. Walls everywhere here. It's about booming and getting the walls up right now. 250 pop. I mean, we've seen players with basically 250 vills. I think Massey James in the last qualifier ended up with like 230 or something like that for most of the game.
Yeah, and it's the fact that players go for that kind of build that makes it possible for early holds to happen. As Wackel has been holding it, Husiel, you like Husiel. I'll go with Husiel has been holding mid the entire game so far. Must be totally broken away from the competition in terms of total resources collected. Yeah, if I were him, I would definitely be thinking to make my initial run at holding this thing down to 0 years.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like Barles does have 2 relics. Husiel's only with 1 right now. No one else collecting any relics just yet, guys. Barles coming to mid, though, gonna try to get some conversions in here.
Oh
Maybe
boy,
just
the
get some
scout.
value out of the monks, I guess, but it's like he's probably gonna lose everything here.
Yeah, if not for the scout, he might have had a good time of it. But there's just no good way to use your 2 conversions here.
He's making it work out. 1 Mangadai converted, only 1 Mangadai left. He's gonna end up taking the mid.
Yeah, that was actually really smart. It looked like he focused the monks on the manga die. The spears helped with the scout, and yeah, once the scout's gone, the monks actually wreck there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, my new favorite to win the game is actually Barrels. Just kidding, just kidding. Barrels is my second favorite to take. I mean, when I say favorite, it's not like, calling for Viper to win a tournament set or something like that. Like, when I say he's my favorite, I mean, like, he probably has a 25% chance to take it or something like that, which is higher than the next best person's odds.
Yeah, they're gonna be fighting this a little bit here. Husea comes back. He's gonna end up with a few more manga die. He's gonna secure the position. But right now, guys, everyone is pretty much just booming. We got some villager fighting going on over here between Haru and Fujita about the position of these walls, apparently. There are a few monks involved, so maybe some villagers being converted. But otherwise, it seems to be boom, fast. Some very interesting walls over here for Keller. He's looking to try to secure an entire corner of the map, apparently.
Yeah. It was questioned on previous maps whether spawning in a corner is worse than spawning in one of the edge positions, and Keller's really showing that the corner can work here. Um, while certain people like Wackel have kind of ended up getting tied to the side of the map. Uh, yeah, Keller and Illusionist have really nice center positions.
Yeah, I mean, Illusionist is in the corner as well here. He's already put up some crazy walls. Looks like Husiel's going to wall right next to those as well. Just try to secure the positions. They're kind of just splitting space up here. Messy look on the map, how everybody's spread out, obviously. Castle's starting to come up towards the mid here. Obviously, players looking to secure some positioning. Husiel is actually going to try to stonewall the mid here early, so maybe he is going to go for this nice and early here. He has some Mangadite doing some raids on the Illusionist over here. We'll see how that works out for him.
As I keep on saying, it's only prudent if you hold mid early to set up to be ready to try for a long hold. He's not really committing anything meaningful to mid, but as it gets closer and closer to the end, if it looks like nobody's really challenging it, at some point he should pivot and decide to go for it. And having preemptive walls like this will really help. And given the map bug where the middle's not as revealed as it was before, I'm not certain other players can see this wall. So there's a chance that other players will be taken totally off guard by any sort of fortifications Wacko puts up here.
Yeah, they can see it, just a small chunk of it. But they'll have to get in here and deal with this at some point. It's obviously still far away, 192 years. But he could make a really good run for this. He has 115 vills, which isn't the highest. Barl's the lead in vills, but holding the map position, all the ticking resources, obviously quite helpful. Haru and Fujita just continue to go at each other here. Looks like it's a war over the resources, potentially, the way these walls are looking right now.
Yep, I mean, I think there's not a whole lot of extra golds on the map. So if you can take out one of your opponents and take one of their main two gold piles, that's a huge score.
Yeah, absolutely. Military numbers. It looks like Zayu has 16 pikemen. So he's going full pikeman right now.
Very gold efficient. I mean, as Dravidians, they get the unique tech that ignores armor, so their pikes are actually decent against any melee unit, or any unit that they can deal damage to, rather. And yeah, you don't want to waste your gold units pushing people off mid. If you can muster a pure trash army for the initial defenses, that's the way to go.
Fair enough, fair enough. Things are getting down here, guys. Obviously, we're getting later and later in this countdown. Once it's under 100 years, it will revert back to 100 years every time it switches hands. But for now, there's just nothing, no one contesting mid. Everyone's just trying to boom and worry about their own situations here.
Yeah, and these walls could be huge, man. A lot of players try to show up at the last minute to contest mid. Siege units also tend to be slow. Like, these walls might actually be a game-winning play.
Yeah. And he's holding the mid. He's getting fortified wall soon. He's going to have trebs. He's going to have chemistry. He's even getting a petard. So he's going to try to go after someone here. Looks like he's going to go after the illusionist over here. He sees that castle, wants to try to deal with that. Trebs are headed that way.
Yep, anything to get focus off mid. He should probably also like slam a ton of production buildings and things, get ready to spam center. This is an absolutely prime opportunity. Yeah, there's no chance Wackle's giving this up easy whatsoever. He already has so much invested in it, and this just looks beautiful too. Like, as somebody who's been watching a bunch of these games and played in one of them, this is a golden opportunity. You have preemptive walls up. Most players probably have no military out. Given the circumstances of the game, it being early, a lot of players aren't even going to be inclined to fight you. There's a chance players are fighting their neighbors. I actually think Wackle might take it right now.
I mean, he's making it look very good for himself. The only side of the map that's really open, we could have Nexus and Zayu come through without contest of the walls. There's going to be some castles there, obviously, but I mean, things are starting to get down here. The illusionist is busy over here with ooh, this is rough. Trying to deal with Mangadai with Mamelukes. Siege go down so easily as well. So the illusionist is very busy at the moment. We have Barles and Haru fighting it out over here.
Yeah. And in the 1v1 between Wackle and Illusionist, like, Wackle just has a hugely unfair advantage from all the resources that he's collected in mid. Like, I mean, he must have collected 3, 4, even more, 4,000 more resources than any other player just from that mid trickle.
Yep, the walls were denied over here, and Husiel's just gonna do it in the back here, a little farther away. So he's almost fully walled here.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the other players can see, but as somebody with total map vision now, they need to start working on this mid situation. If they wait for 50 years, even if they wait for like 7 years, it's going to be too late. Honestly, it's possibly too late already.
Yeah, it could very well be. It's going to be tough. There's only a few scouts in mid, so if someone were to be able to get in there, but right now, Husiel is just walling the entirety of the mid right now. And we're down to 90 years already.
Yeah, he should add a couple more units there. I mean, I know it's nice to only be showing those couple of scouts, but that is just a little bit too squishy for me. Who knows what could show up and how. Having a little bit more meat on that banana pile would just be safe.
Yep. Looks like Keller sees, and he's like, let's go, Barles. Like, we got to work together on this, so this is good. Bombard cannons coming forward, so this will be contested here.
Okay, the bombard cannons are just what's needed. These walls need to come down pronto. Yeah, and Barles, okay, this is why the players were scared of him. Look at this, man. Just in time, he's showing up with the perfect army to take this down.
Yeah, he's here. He's in the mid. We also have Zayu trebbing down a castle over here for Husiel. So, I mean, he has a good position in mid. I don't know if he has the units, though, to hold this. He has a good number of Mangadai. Only 2 scouts in the middle, so he's not too worried about that. We have a big fight up here between Fingita and Haru. Looks like Fingita is getting the best of that situation right now.
Yeah. Custilier normally wouldn't be the best first Mangadai who could kite them forever. But when the Mangadai need to stay on the monument, I don't know how well that kiting strategy works.
Yep, Monument will switch hands here, so unable to hold here at the moment. Looks like Haru's in trouble. He's having some issues over here. Looks like there's some bombard cannons from Barles back here as well. Barles is going to hold mid for the time being. Haru also sending a large group of champions through a heavily fortified area of keeps. And looks like all of those will just go down here without putting up much of a fight there. So Haru looks like he may be in a really bad position early at the moment.
Yep, I mean, if you look at the minimap, he's really getting squeezed out there as he resigns. Possibly a little early, but if his neighbors had committed to eliminating him, I think he would have been defeated. I guess some players just don't have it in them to fight back from like 2 vills. He was still at 50 vills. I don't know. As a caster who's seen so many long games, I'm not going to object to people going out early.
Yeah, looks like Husiel getting pushed by Zayu now, so he's going to be having some trouble dealing with this. It looks like military numbers just aren't quite there. Husiel also really low in pop here. Villager populations, Nexus with 210, Barles 203.
Oh boy, it looks like Barles is just so strong from the macro population front. And a lot of players are now distracted in their side fights. And also, Wackel's walls are kind of serving Barles here as, I mean, I'm sure Wackel will delete them when the time comes, but as of now, I'm sure that it's forcing players in funny directions and making it hard for them to build reinforcement lines to mid.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding this with quite the force. Obviously, he has a lot of production buildings coming up behind this. And honestly, these walls coming up are going to be fortified for our Burgundian player as well. It does look, though, that Fengita does have a formidable army here. He just has to head in the right direction with these. Keller also with a large mass of force, and oh my goodness, he has 10 trebs. So he's coming to the mid nice and quick here. 46 years, though. Bombard cannons are involved. Alright, Fengita's going to chop through Onager, actually. See our first Monkey Hussar. For those who don't know, we did have this mod made by Annie HK. Hussar replaced with the Furious the Monkey Boy, but the stats are of a Hussar.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, Barles has the countdown really low. This is a genuine attempt, but Costilier and Bombard Cannon versus Halb feels impossible to micro. I don't know if he's going to be able to kill these Halbs before they eat all the Costilier.
Yeah, and things are going down quickly here. Flemish! We went with the Flemish Revolution Barles this done.
I like it. He only has 29 years.
So everything will come mid. This is his one shot here with everything he's got.
Yeah, Flemish answers the infantry. No longer is he pure Costilier Bombard Cannon. He's Costilier Bombard Cannon and like 200 Flemish militia.
Yeah, I mean, his military count is over 200 for the time being. Big onager shots coming in, though. Will he be able to hold is the question. 19 years. It's counting down, and on the other side, the walls are there, and it's full skirmishers from Zayu. He's got some siege elephants behind, but I don't think those are going to get here in time. Barles cleaning up Fengita.
Honestly, this is brilliant, man. I highly doubt the other players were suspecting this. His wall is just 100% keeping out Zayu. So many factors going into this, but Barles, honestly, this is a masterpiece.
The illusion is coming in too late. He's not going to make it. 7 years. There's not a whole lot in the mid, but look at the rest of the Flemish Revolution coming in here behind this. 4 years.
I
The
love it,
Mamelukes
dude.
show up.
I feel like this is a pure strategy win right here. The surprise Flemish, early game Flemish for the win.
GG Barles takes it convincingly here.
Yeah, the players were right to fear Barles. I knew it wasn't just a meme when everybody was telling him to stay away.
Yeah, that was definitely clean. Definitely a good strategy here. Obviously, he has only a couple vills now. He started producing them again just in case, but quick one today. That may be the quickest one of the tournament right there. GG.
I mean, we did have one game that was taken on the initial countdown,
That's true.
but this was the second countdown, and very interesting.
Yeah, Barles qualifies for the final, guys. So he'll be back later today.
Yep. And while the second game does actually get to start on time, though for the entire tournament, we've been telling people 17 GMT for the grand finals. So even if this next game is quick, unless all the players happen to be around, we do have to give them until 17 GMT. I think it's also okay to have a break in the stream. Do people really want like 4 hours of nonstop action? People could use a little intermission, possibly.
I mean, I think 4 hours of nonstop action sounds good to me, but
well, the timing is actually perfect as the next game is scheduled to start in 6 minutes. Let's see if we have all the players.
the Otter planned for 18 GMT. Otter, we've been saying 17, man. Come on.
We have been well, it's possible he's planning, assuming it would be late, but we have said 17 ever since the initial tournament announcement.
Yeah.
Sweet. We got freaking Andy, Abe Froman here. Okay, some of these Banano noobs I'm going to root for, man. Honestly, some of these participants in this next game, I'm not sure if they've ever even played a multiplayer game before. We got Blue Sky. Yeah.